lesser endowed people, to restrain certain types of consumption in areas of savings, to help the government in the provision of services for national development and improve the general well-being of the citizens. Yes. Now, these are very important things we are going to look at that will let you police or interact very well, fairly and equitably or legally with the tax collector and customs. And it comes under the principle of taxation, which Adam Smith in his book, The Wealth of Nations, he called them the principle of taxation. Equity, tax me according to my wealth. So if it is equity of taxation, it's clear. If you are in a workplace, I'm earning 10,000 Ghana cedis and you are earning 1,000 cedis and the percentage of taxation is 10% across board, definitely me having 10,000 will pay more tax than you because I'll take in more home so that they'll use the other one to bridge the gap. That's why certain threshold salaries are not taxed at all. Certainty and convenience of taxation. My area, I'm going to pay the tax, the amount I'm going to pay, how I'm going to pay it, the time I'll pay, how am I going to pay it, in which manner. Like now we are flooded with Momo and all form of electronic platforms. They fall under certainty and convenience of taxation. The economy of taxation just simply says that the tax collector should not use more than the tax is going to collect. You shouldn't use 100 cedis and go and tax the taxpayer and bring to the tax table 50 cedis. No, the principle does not allow that. That's the economy of taxation. Yes, there's another principle, simplicity. The language in which you write the tax laws or explain the tax issues to the taxpayer should be so simple and should be understood by any ordinary taxpayer. The taxpayer does not need to go and hire a tax expert, a lawyer to come and explain the tax language to him. It's very important. Then the elasticity of taxation. Yes, the system has to respond to changes in the environment. This elasticity is simply explained is the population demography. Yes, you see. So people think if the population demography is about 3 segments. If you are born as a youth through your schooling days, you don't pay taxes, you don't work, so you are fed. Then there's the working bracket that feeds and look after everybody. Then you go on pension. Then you are like the baby. We are all looking up to the middle working class. But the fact that at any given time this changes, that does not mean maybe we have more people living in the university and they are supposed to have been joining the employment bracket. But you'll be surprised it will be worse because people leave universities, we have got a lot of unemployment. So it is too. So it's, if you have more joining the employment bracket, more taxes will come. But if you don't have people joining, although we have more people being recorded as scholars, people leaving school, and even people with professions who are supposed to work. Ghana now, don't we have about over 1,000 medical officers not being employed in our hospitals? All those taxes are eluding government. But so it is too. The working class can be diminishing, but the tax earnings of the country can go higher because of the average or the value of wages that are paid. Yes. And the last but one principle is productivity. Tax collectors or tax agencies should not kill the source of tax. It's in a simple adage, we don't kill the bird that lays the golden egg for you to eat every morning as breakfast. So you should tax, your taxes should be fairly, should be moderate, should be modest for you to have the source of taxation, always for you to go to yield income. So the principle of taxation, very, very important. Take note of it. Then taxes are in 2 kinds in the world, not only in Ghana. We have the direct taxes and indirect taxes. Yes, direct taxes are the ones paid by somebody and you cannot transfer it. It's paid by persons, organizations on their incomes, profit. The impact and incidence on the same person or institution. The administrative authorities, the Internal Revenue Service, which is now part of the domestic tax revenue service. And there are two ways here: impact and incidence of tax. Impact of taxation just talks about the pinch of payment. Everybody feels hurt or have pains when it's going to pay tax. And the incidence of taxation is the volume, the money burden. So in direct taxes, both impact and incidence is on the same person. The taxes are not transferable. The initial payer bears everything and it remains with that person. But in indirect taxes, the initial payer of the tax is not actually the taxpayer, because he transfers everything to the actual taxpayer, who is the final consumer. Yes. So that one is clear. So both impact and incidents are shifted. So in indirect taxes are transferable, in short, but direct taxes are not transferable. So indirect taxes in Ghana are categorized in the following ways: customs duties on goods, excise duties on home consumption, value-added tax on homemade goods, and export duties on certain products. Good. So indirect taxes may take the following forms. Ad valorem rate is very important. Take note of it, because we'll be applying this rate when we decipher into other subtopics as we go along. Yes, ad valorem is a Latin word that means percentage of value. So in customs, we know we grade values for products that enter into international trade. And in Ghana, our basis of value is the CIF, cost, insurance, and freight. And we take a percentage of it at any given time. That forms your best. But then, in certain jurisdictions, the law allows it. In Ghana, we have it, but we don't practice it so much. We have the specific rate of duty. Here, this rate of taxes do not take recognition of the value, no matter how valuable the items is. It takes recognition of the certain specific attributes of the commodity and charges it per a certain specific sum of money. So if they want to collect duty on used clothing, they can say the duty on used clothing is 20 cedis per kilo. If it is 50 cedis bag cement, they can say the duty is about so and so per the 50 kilos, or the length of a material, or the literage of a liquid, or the tonnage of a certain substance. So that's the specific duty rate. So if at any given time the government wants more money, you calculate the ad valorem duty, calculate the specific duty rate, compare the two, whichever is higher, you apply it as the duty to pay. And when this thing happens, the name given to that form of tax is called alternative rate of duty. Yeah. We are comparing two things. We alternate. As I said earlier, there are certain things that are enjoyed by law for customs to accept. For instance, tolerance, where the customs always give benefit of the doubt to the trader. Yes, where customs come across some discrepancies when they are working and think they are so minor and they don't exceed about 2% of the quantity declared, they are telling custom officers to tolerate it and allow the goods to go. And indulgence, when the application of the rules will cause undue hardship to the trader without any compensation, the trader should be allowed to go. You unduly detain my cargo loaded on trucks overnight, especially weekend, and I'm coming to work on Monday. The demurrage on the truck and other incidental demurrage and sorry rent is an inconvenience. So customs should think well, and if they allow such a cargo to leave the port, it falls under their principles of indulgence. It's allowed by law, but most people don't know. Yeah, even the customs officers, how trainable are they? Yeah, then there's no principle of no consumption, no duty payment. That is where goods that are in transit, transshipment, going to the free zones, they don't pay duty because they are not going to be finally consumed in Ghana. So no consumption, no duty payment. Customs is aware and they comply with these principles also. Yes. And also duty should be paid only once on any item that are dutable. Yes. As I said, there are two types of evasions. Legal evasion. Legal evasion is what we call tax avoidance. So you avoid tax payment, which does not contravene the law. Yes, there are so many examples of legal evasions. Example is this social social functions like Miss Ghana and Co that public offices have been sponsoring. Instead of paying tax, they use their profit to sponsor all those programs. And social responsibility over these organizations to their localities, to the needy in society, giving scholarships and awards and all those things. They fall under legal evasion. As for the illegal evasion, is the one that we do false declarations, falsified documents, smuggling, concealment, and there's a section in the Act 891 that deals with it, section 44. If you are caught, or you are, yeah.